take some big breaths into your whole rib cage. You can always come to child's pose when you need a break. Your next inhale, draw yourself up onto hands and knees. Get your knees under hips, wrist under shoulders. Then inhale, lift your tailbone, soften your belly, lift your chest. Exhale, tuck your tailbone, draw your guts up towards your spine. And just keep moving, just keep breathing like that. Try to keep that contact with the floor, that grounded quality. And come back to neutral. Take your left foot out, spin your heel down, open up with your left arm, and then take that top hand, thread through your standing arm. You can put your hips, press down to open up, and a few more times on your own, moving with your breath. Once more. And then bring your hand back to your mat, bring your knee back, step your right foot out to the side, ground your heel, open up with your right arm, and then take that hand, thread it behind your standing arm, and just keep moving, just keep breathing. Inhaling, open up. Exhale, rounding. Again, make your way back to hands and knees. Take your knees a little wider than your hips. Shift your hips back towards your heels. Lower down. Child's pose. Inhale, draw yourself back up onto hands and knees. Tuck your toes under. Press down to lift your hips up and back into down dog. Spread your fingers. Spread your toes. Feet at least hip width distance apart. You can have your knees bent. Lift your tailbone. You can be still and breathe or pedal out your feet. Keep lifting through your shoulders, shifting your chest back towards your thighs, and roll forward into plank. Press through the backs of your knees, really reach the crown of your head away from the bottoms of your feet, and lift your hips up and back, shift back to down dog. Once more, roll forward into your plank. Keeping your elbows in close, slowly lower all the way down to your belly. Keeping your elbows in close, root down through your pubic bone, roll your chest, roll your shoulders, lift your chest, unweight the femurs, and lower down. Tuck your toes under and press yourself up, and back to down dog. You kind of claw with your fingers. Lift your heels, roll forward to plank. Dive your head through your shoulders, roll back to down dog. A couple more times on your own. And no rush. Once you're back in your down dog, and stay there. And step your feet a bit closer together, lift your heels, bend your knees, step or hop to the front of your mat. Grounding into your feet. Inhale halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Bend your knees, slide your sits bones down and back, lift your chest, sweep your arms out and up, sitting down into your chair pose. Try to find a lift of the pelvic floor. Try to relax your face, ground into your feet, press down, dive up all the way to standing. Reach up, maybe look up. Bring your palms together in front of your heart. You can press your thumbs into your sternum. Big breath, circle sweep your arms out and up. Exhale, spill your pelvis forward. Forward fold. Ground into your feet. Inhale halfway. Really press your big toes down. Get that foot to butt connection. Exhale, lower down. And plant your hands. Step back into plank. Big inhale in your plank. Big exhale, shift back into down dog. Step your feet a bit closer together. Lift your heels, bend your knees, step or hop to the front of your mat. Find your feet hip width distance apart. Ground, inhale halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Bend your knees, slide your sits bones down and back. Lift your chest, sweep your arms out and up. Finding your breath in your chair. And slowly lower your belly onto your thighs. Really reaching your fingers away from your sits bones for low fucking chair. Press down to lift your hips, diving back into your forward fold. Ground into your feet, lift yourself halfway. Draw your belly button towards your spine. Exhale, forward, forward, forward. Plant your hands, step back into plank. Shift forward onto your big toes, lower halfway, spin your fingers out, lower your hips, untuck your toes, and pressing your pubic bone down. Use your core. Exhale, press back, down dog. Step your feet a little closer together. Inhale, taking your left leg high, keeping your toes pointed at the floor. Keep lifting your heel up towards the ceiling. And inhale, draw your knee towards your face. Round. Exhale, press back. Inhale, draw your knee towards your same elbow, coming forward. Exhale, press back. Inhale, draw your knee across your body, shoot your leg out, spin the inner edge of your right foot, open up, fallen star. Keep lifting your hips up. Maybe flex your feet. Bring your hand back down, sweep the leg back up, three-legged dog. Bend your knee, opening your hip, turning your kneecaps away from each other, keeping your shoulders square, and draw your knee towards your face. And set your foot down wherever it lands. Gently lower your back knee, maybe lift your chest, maybe lift your arms. Keep pressing down to that front foot, keep engaging your core to protect your spine. Big inhale, exhale, bring your hands down either side of that front foot. Tuck your back toes, lift the back leg, open up with your left arm. Keep grounding into your feet. Exhale, bring your top hand to the floor. Create a wider base, heel to your front foot over to the side. Press down to rise up to your high crescent. Maybe find your hips. You could do eagle arms, right over left. Hand clap. Lifting your elbows up, drawing your shoulders down. See about lifting your elbows, fingers, maybe your gaze. And bow forward, squeeze that back leg. Press down to rise back up. And unwrap your arms, airplane arms. Press down to lift that back leg. Moving towards square shoulders and hips at the floor. Keep sucking your femur bone into your hip socket. Or maybe take your arms out in front. You can think hollow body, like you're hugging a giant ball. And set your back foot down. Lower your hands. And shoot your left foot back behind you. Three-legged dog. Lower your foot to the mat. Coming into your down dog. Finding your breath again. And lift your heels. Bend your knees. Step or hop to the front of your mat. Ground into your feet. Lift yourself halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Bend your knees, slide your sits bones down and back, lift your chest, sweep your arms out and up, sit down into your fierce chair pose. Big inhale, exhale to rise. You can bring your palms together in front of your heart. Trying to find equal weight in the feet. Big breath, circle, sweep your arms out and up. Exhale, bow forward. Trying to keep that foot to butt connection. Ground into your feet, lift yourself halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Plant your hands, step back to plank. An option to go through your flow or rest in child's pose. If you want to do up dog again, you could shift forward onto your big toes, lower halfway. Spin your fingers out, lower your hips, untuck your toes. Keep pressing down through the tops of the feet to engage your quads, engage your core. And dive your head through your shoulders to roll back to down dog. Step your feet a bit closer together. Inhale, taking your right leg high. Trying to find that Barbie doll foot. So flexing your whole foot. No, pointing your whole foot, flexing your toes. Draw your knee towards your face and press back. And draw your knee towards your same elbow, coming forward, hovering. Exhale, press back. Inhale, draw your knee across your body, shoot your foot out, open up. Breathe. Maybe flex your foot, keep lifting your hips up. And bring your hand back down to the floor. Sweep your leg back behind you, three-legged dog. With your lifted leg, bend your knee, open your hip like a dog peeing on a fire hydrant. Trying to keep your shoulders square. And draw your knee towards your face. You can set your foot down. Gently lower that back knee. You can stay here or maybe lift your chest, maybe lift your arms. Trying to find that lift of the pelvic floor. Exhale the hands down either side of that front foot. Tuck your back toes to lift your back leg. Open up towards the right for a twist. Exhale, bring your hand back down to the floor. Heel toe that front foot over towards the outer edge of your mat. Press down to rise up. Coming into your crescent. We'll do eagle arms on this side. Left arm over right. Clap. Lift your elbows up. Draw your shoulders down. Keep hugging everything in towards the midline. And stay here or see about lifting your elbows, fingers, maybe your gaze. And bow forward. Squeeze that back leg. Press down to lift up. You can unwrap your arms, bring them out to the sides. Press down to lift that back leg. Maybe bring your arms out in front. You could press your palms together. Really rooting down through that standing foot, finding your gaze point on the floor to help you balance. And set your back foot down, bring your hands down, shoot your right foot back behind you, three-legged dog. And lower your foot down to the mat. Coming into your downward dog. Take a couple good breaths together, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Step your feet a bit closer together. Inhale, taking your left leg high. And draw your knee towards your face. And set your foot down. Hop your back foot over to the side so you can ground your heel. Setting up your warrior one feet. So ground, press your feet apart. Rise up. So knee tracking with your toes. Hips go where they go. Turn your heart forward. Maybe take your arms up. Really pressing your feet apart. Maybe take your gaze up. Big inhale, big exhale. Take your hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Lift your chest. And then moon from your hips. Bow forward. So hips. And then you can let your spine round. Dropping your head for your humble warrior. Exhaling, release your grip. Bring your hands to the floor. Lift your back heel. Press down into your hands to sweep your left leg back behind you. Three-legged dog. And lower into down dog. And step your feet a bit closer together. Taking your right leg high. And draw your knee towards your face. And set your right foot down. Hop your left foot out to the side so you can ground your heel. Setting up your warrior one feet on this side. So ground and rise up. So knee tracking with your toes. Hips go where they go. Turn your chest forward. You can keep your hands low or reach your arms up. The harder you press your hands together, the harder it is. Got that from Dylan. Big inhale, big exhale. Take your hands behind your back. Interlacing your fingers the weird way. Lift your chest, squeeze your shoulders, and then moving from your hips, bow forward. So hips, and then let your spine round. Keep grounding into your feet for a humble warrior. And release your grip. Bring your hands to the mat, lift your back heel, press down to sweep your right leg back behind you, three-legged dog. And set your toes down. Step your feet a bit closer together, lift your heels, bend your knees, step or hop to the front of your mat. Coming into a forward fold. You can let your whole upper body hang go, let your head go, hang go. Ground into your feet, inhale halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Bend your knees, slide your sits bones down and back, lift your chest, sweep your arms out and up. Sit down into your chair. Trying to find that equal weight in the feet. Bring your palms together in front of your heart. Big breath and twist towards the left. So you can let your right knee piston forward. Trying to keep your spine straight. So to help with that, you can take your gaze in between your feet. And then see about getting your weight more into your left foot. It might help to squeeze your legs together, so coming onto your right toes. And then slow motion, shoot that foot behind you, landing as gracefully or as awkwardly in your twisted prayer lunge. Keep grounding into your base, broadening through your collarbones. And lift your chest, open up with your arms, revolved crescent. And cartwheel open. Spin your back heel down. So finding your warrior two, front heel, back arch. Maybe lengthen your stance. Knee tracking with your front middle toes. Finding your gaze over your front middle finger. And flip your palms up, reach forward, and reverse your warrior. Maybe taking your right hand to your leg or for your front hip crease. Big inhale, exhale. Top hand to your inner thigh. Top hip rolls down. And take your right arm alongside your ear to continue that straight line up your leg, up your torso. Keep pressing your feet apart. So top hip rolls down, chest rolls open, and come back. Warrior two. Press down to straighten your front leg. Maybe shorten your stance, so level hips, then we'll do that hip shift. So pop your back hip up, reach forward and tilt. Keep a micro bend in your front knee. Keep sliding your top shoulder towards your top hip. Keep lifting through your top fingers. And rebend your front knee. Reverse your warrior. Big breath. Cartwheel your hands down to the mat. Lift your back heel. Sweep your left leg back behind you. Three-legged dog. And lower your foot to the mat. Bring your feet together. Lift your heels. Bend your knees. Step or hop to the front of your mat. Ground into your feet. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Bend your knees, slide your sits bones down and back. Lift your chest, sweep your arms out and up. Bring your palms together in front of your heart. Big breath, and drop your left shoulder. So twisting towards the right, you can let your left knee piston forward. Draw your right hip back. Try to keep your hips lower than your shoulders. Get your weight more into your right foot. So it might help to squeeze your legs together and slow motion shoot your left leg back. Landing in your twisted lunge. Maybe taking your thumbs to your sternum. Really reach the crown of your head away from that back heel. Exhale, press down to lift your chest, open with the arms, revolved crescent, and reverse. Cartwheel your hands open. Finding your warrior two. So front heel lined up with your back arch. Knee tracking with your toes, knee over ankle. And flip your palms up, reach forward, and reverse your warrior. Exhale, bring your top hand to your inner knee thigh. Option to take your left arm by your ear, inner elbow towards your face. And lift your chest, so base the same, coming back into your warrior two. Press down to move towards straightening your front legs, so level hips. Pop your back hip up, reach forward and tilt into triangle. Keep sliding your top shoulder towards your top hip to keep that straight spine. And rebend your front knee. Reverse warrior. Big breath, cartwheel your hands down to the mat. Lift your back heel, sweep your right leg back, three-legged dog. And lower your foot to the mat. Lower your knees to the mat, shift your hips back towards your heels. Just take a couple good breaths in your child's pose. One more big breath. And take your time coming back to your down dog. You can always rest, modify when you need to. And roll forward to plank. Drop your heels over towards the right. So you about stacking your feet, flex your feet, lift your hips up for a side plank. Option to take your right foot out in front. You could even come onto the outer edge. One more big breath here. Take your hand back to the floor. Make your way back through plank. Drop your heels over towards the left. Stack your feet. Lift your hips up. Right option to take your right foot out in front like a kickstand. You could come onto the outer edges of both feet. You could always come down to forearms too, right? We've got trick wrists. And make your way back through plank. And shift up and back to down dog. And step your feet together, lift your heels, bend your knees, step or hop to the front of your mat. Grounding into your feet, lift yourself halfway. And fold forward. Ground into your feet, reverse swan dive. Come up through your flat back, all the way up to standing. Let's do this. Bend your right knee, so knees side by side. Reach back for the inner edge of your foot, right? Using your core to protect your low back. You can reach your hand out in front or high five the air. And then start to kick your foot into your hand. It's okay to open your hip. Come into your dancer. Just see where you go. Really plant your standing foot. You could do a mudra, maybe first finger and thumb. And when you're ready to come out, slowly bring your knees side by side. We're going to stick with this leg. So grab your big toe with your peace fingers, maybe hand to the hip, and see about kicking out. Just trying to stand up straight. Stay here or open up. Try to keep your other hip from moving. And then bring your foot to your left hip. Drop your knee down. Half lotus. Right hand, half namaste. Flexing your wrists. Lift your chest. And release that. To your other side. Bend your left knee. So get your hamstring engaged. Reach back for the inner side of your foot. Right? Protecting your core. Low back with your core. You can high five the air or straight out in front. You can stay here or start to kick your foot into your hand. Right? Coming into your dancer. Find your gaze point. And then you're ready to come out. Just trying to come out slow with some control. So hold on to this foot. It's about grabbing big toe with peace fingers. And then start with kicking out. We'll open up to the side, so keeping your right hip where it is. Right? Maybe take your right hand out to the side. And bring your foot to your right hip. Drop your knee down, half lotus on this side. Lifting your chest. You could do that half namaste with your left hand. And release your foot. You can find a mountain pose, so feeling into all four corners of both feet. Just feeling the general weight of your body in space. Big breath, sweep your arms out and up. Exhale, bow forward. Ground into your feet. Lift yourself halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Plant your hands and step back into plank. Keeping your elbows in close. Slowly lower all the way to your mat. And untuck your toes, root down to your pelvis, pubic bone. Roll your shoulders, lift your chest. Unweight the femurs for your cobra. And slide onto your forearms for Sphinx. And press your forearms down, draw your hands towards your body, and we'll do some lion's breath. So in through the nose, out through the mouth with your tongue out. 3 more. Once more. You can bring your hands under your shoulders, tuck your toes, press yourself up and back to your child's pose. And that's what I got.